What's going on, everybody? Pat here from Torque Physio Performance, and today I want to dive a little deeper into a topic that we've talked about plenty of times, but it's a very, very important topic, and that's our hips. So, are you a guy on the golf course or a girl on the golf course that has a hard time getting to that lead side? Do you feel like you are falling backwards, or maybe it's just tight in that lead hip so you can't really get into that lead hip? Are you someone that has big blocks up to the right, or are you someone that doesn't want to have that block to the right, and when they can't get to the lead side, flips the hands and then hits some hooks? Well, those are no fun. So I want to go through a series of different drills that can help you with that. That can come from a lack of mobility in the hip, but can also come from a lack of stability, which is the ability to utilize that mobility that we have. So there are a variety of different progressions and regressions on the hip airplane, which is one of my favorite ways to work on the stability and mobility in these hips. So if you're seeing those misses on the course, I highly encourage you always start at the easiest here that I'm going to show you first, and then we can work our way up as these feel easy and you can move and challenge yourself a little bit more. So eventually you have some more mobility in those hips, you can control those hips a little bit more, and then when you get out on the golf course, it's going to be a lot easier to get through that front side, hold that balance, and hit good shots. So the first option for the hip airplane is going to be a split stance position. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 95% of my weight is going to be on this front foot. I'm just using this back foot as a little kickstand. From here, what my big focus is to work through this hip socket. I don't want to get the motion from the knee, and I don't just want to turn the whole pelvis. So what I want to focus on, knee stays nice and stable, focusing on my belt buckle here. From my belt buckle, I want to rotate in as far as I can into this hip. You should get a good stretch along the outside of the glute, and then from there, rotate up and away. So go through 3 sets, 8 on each side. Once that feels pretty easy for you, next step would be to come over to the wall. We're going to go to a single leg position here. I'm going to use the wall for some balance, rotate those hips in, rotate up and away, still focusing on the same things, keeping those knees, that knee stable, lower leg stable, rotating through that hip, make sure we're getting a good stretch. After we feel pretty good there for 3 sets of 8 on each leg, the next step up will be putting our foot on the bench. That's still going to give us a little bit of help with our balance and stability here, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than holding onto the wall. So we're going to rotate into that leg, up and away. So once we feel good there, then we can take all of the support away, and we can come out here and we can go for a hip airplane just with my body weight. So rotate down and in, up and away. Once you feel good about getting through 3 sets of 8 there, and it feels pretty easy, last step we can do is we can load it up with a kettlebell. So kettlebell goes here, rotate down into that hip, rotate up and away. 3 sets of 8 on each leg there. As always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Glad to give you a hand.